What's up, people on the internet? My name is Adam, and inside of this case are my Supreme All Black Czarcie Kopyto pedals. So here they are. These are my Supreme All Black Czarcie Kopyto pedals. I've been playing with their pedals since 2018, and I became an endorsed artist by them in 2025. And if you never heard of these pedals before, they are made by a company called Monolith, located in Poland. And in my opinion, these are the best pedals on the market. Let me tell you why. Not only are these pedals made with high-end quality materials, but they're also made with a very smart design, which will make this pedal last very long. So this particular pair right here, I probably spent like 100 hours of active playing, and they're still working just as they did brand new. But if that doesn't impress you, the first pair I had since 2018, I sadly don't have them here today, but I probably did 150 plus shows, bunch of studio hours, bunch of practicing hours, probably a total of 10,000 hours, and they were still working just as they did since day one. Maybe you stumble upon a pedal before that makes noise from maybe the heel blocks that are rattling, maybe the drive shaft joints that makes a bunch of noise, but check this out. Do you hear this? It is called absolute silence. As you might know by now, these pedals are indestructible. However, I actually found one problem with these pedals, and it all goes back to 2023. So this was the problem that I found. Not the actual drive shaft, but the design of it. Because this part right here used to have a circle shape. So what happened was that every time I set up my pedals, and then when I put some pressure on the left pedal, it actually started to slip where the drive shaft is connected to the connecting pin. And for me in the beginning, this wasn't really a problem until I did a festival show when just in the first song, this part got loose. And you know, when something gets loose and you started playing, this drive shaft just fell off. And this was something I took up with Monolith. They took my feedback, and after a few months, they contacted me and say, hey, we redesigned the connecting point to the drive shaft, so check this out. As you can see, the end of the drive shaft doesn't have a circle shape anymore. And because of this design, there's no way for the drive shaft to slip from the connecting pin, and I will show you why. Before you attach the drive shaft to the pedals, it is very important that you find this dot right here, because this is the dot that is supposed to align right with the drive shaft. So you take a drive shaft and you make sure that these screws are aligned with the dot, and you just put it straight in like this. You can try to put it on in another way, but that is basically impossible. So make sure it's straight, slide that part in, tighten the screws. Now everything is secured. So if we take a closer look on these pedals, you might see that they have a bunch of screws on them, and that is not just for the aesthetics, my friend. That is because they have a bunch of setting opportunities. For example, by unscrewing these two screws right here, you have the option to remove and attach the beater to the pedal, and also set the beater to the preferred height you like. And what I think is good with the Kopyto pedals is that you have two of these screws, which make the beater fully secured. If you want more information about these beaters, I actually made a full review on Czarcie Kopyto's YouTube page, so feel free to check that one out. By releasing the screw right here, you have the option to set up the beater angle to your preferred liking. And what is good with these pedals is that you have a marking here to make sure that you can align both of the beaters together correctly. By releasing this screw right here, you have the option to adjust the footboard height to your liking. You can also adjust the footboard height by releasing this screw right here. You have one position all the way in the bottom, one position in the middle, and one position at the top. Me, myself, like to have it in the middle position. Keep in mind though, by adjusting the footboard height on this setting right here is more like a fine tuning, I would say. So if you want to do something more extreme of a change, then I would rather choose the setting right here. By releasing this screw, you have the option to change the position of the direct drive link. As you can see, there are 4 threads here. By having this set up to the thread all the way in the back, kind of gives the pedal more of a heavier feel. Me myself prefer to have this one all the way in the front, because you kind of get more of a swing, which in my opinion gives more of a lighter feeling. To adjust the spring tension, you can do it by screwing the screw right here. But to do that, you have to unlock this lock by pressing it down like this. I like to do it with my palm. And then you can either loosen it or you can tighten it. You have both a marker on this part right here and also markers here. These pedals have 11 marks and I have mine on mark 9. As you can see right here is the pedal set up as a double pedal configuration, but in case you feel like you want to set it up to 2 single pedals, you can actually doing it by releasing 8 screws, and I will now show you how. And just like that, you have 2 single pedals, and this might be a good option in case you might want to try out to play with 2 bass drums instead of 1. In that case, you don't have to buy another pair of Kopytos, you can just do it like this. Pretty cool if you ask me. Keep in mind though, that in case you're doing the switch from 1 double pedal to 2 single pedals, it is very important that you remove these 2 screws right here. By doing this, you can move this clamp to the side to ensure that the beater will hit straight in the middle of the bass drum head. So, I hope you have a better overview of these pedals. In case you're looking for a new pair of pedals, I can promise you that if you grab these, you will never have to do any type of maintenance again. You will have a pedal that is tour proof, and also just look at them. They look f***ing sick. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Adam Björk, and these are the Supreme All Black Czarcie Kopyto pedals.